How's it going, ladies and gents? Friday, good stuff. Wrapping up the week. I hope you all had a good week. And yeah, I'm quite annoyed today because after beating a dead horse over and over again about how we should be managing positions, yeah, I got my hands burnt today, not in a bad way, but yeah, after saying it over and over again, you know, how we should be targeting local lows. Again, here you see how we get Asia and then flip. We get Asia low and then we flip right here. We went long. We come to here and then, you know, flip. So today, what I ended up doing, again, I don't really want to touch on the higher time frames because we spoke about them already. But from H1 and below, right, where my main focus was, because we don't have that higher time frame backing, I was looking at ETF, H1 plus ETF, right, and getting involved with those. So if we replay mode this, you see that on London Open, Asia high gets taken out, as well as this area of buy side liquidity. We had divergence with DXY here, so DXY didn't actually take this out. I sound like I'm gonna cry. So we don't end up taking out on DXY, so we get that divergence, right? And then M15, right, if we just look at the order flow, this is your kind of market shift, right? This is your M15 shift, which you can't play alone, right? You can't say, okay, cool, this is our M15 shift, because you're gonna have to put your stop all the way up here, right? And this isn't guaranteed, right? And it's a negative R. So I wasn't really interested in anything here, right? Nothing here really looked like a bit of me until this happened. So if I just fast forward that candle, right? So we take out that low, body close below, and then we start leaving H1 imbalances to the downside, as well as this sliced area of volume, right? So we get this area here, which gets sliced. It's not really a volume band or a high shift zone, a high probability shift zone, but it is an area where volume, right, which got used to break the high, flipped. So that's where I was looking at that. And then I'm going on to my lower time frames and saying, okay, cool. We have the midpoints of both of these around here. We have this M15 bearish order block right there, right? I want to get involved here in shorts as we run this buy side liquidity, right? These highs over here, we run that and then play this, right? Since Asia low hasn't been taken out yet and Asia high has. So I'm sitting here like this, and this is my position, right? Sorry, my stop wasn't above there. My stop was here, just because I wanted to, you know, protect this little area here, just in case New York wanted to come, sweep, and then roll over. So I put my stop above this high, right, and gave it some breathing room, and the RR was still pretty nice, right, 1 to 3. So this here gets put in as a interim level of liquidity, which in this scenario should become your first target. This is now the area where you need to be taking 60% out, right, and you get a nice position. You get a 1 to 2.3 R, but I didn't want to take that, right, because Asia low hadn't been taken. It's like it's our next logical area of liquidity, right? So this is what I wanted, and then all my plays coming on M5, right? So price pushes up, tags in this, right? We then get shifts to the downside, right? And then price leaves this imbalance where I went short again, right? So that imbalance, I get in at the midpoint of the imbalance. I put my stop. So I moved my stop from this to here, right? So 3.3, and then I moved the stop for this one there as well, and then I targeted this, right? Now this is just insane greed, right? Insane greed, and I got punished for it, right? Something big should have got taken off here, if not the whole thing, right? And this is where I'd failed to plan beforehand, right? Because I wasn't really involved here and I hadn't really anticipated to get involved in this, I hadn't planned the position beforehand. So I hadn't, and that's the importance of knowing what you want to do beforehand. Plan the trade so that you aren't left with your emotions to decide when price gets here. So if I had planned, it would have been here 60% off of the total position I've got running, right? And you see price taps into that, news comes out, and we tap this. 60% should have come off here. On some of the accounts, on the accounts where it mattered least, I took the 60% off. But on my personals and the track record accounts, I held it because I wanted to gain more on the month. Which you can see in a minute doesn't actually pay off. So here, look, again, it gives you so many opportunities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to take some partials. But when we're so close to this, you're like, yeah, it has to deliver. What I should have been paying attention to, and which I did see, you can see me explaining to someone else, 100% out, 100% should have been taken off there. On DXY, we take Asia high. So we had divergence. As soon as that happens, you just get out. Just get out. That is the plan done. Right? I don't get out on some of the accounts, and you can see, bang. This week has been a lesson indeed. A lesson indeed, which I'm fine about. You know, I navigated it well. The entries and the executions were nice. It's just shone a light on my my trade management, right? That's it. You need that sometimes. So guys, short one. It was a short one, but valuable one. I hope you all enjoyed it. And yeah, I will see you on Monday.